continues with Drew Blair.
Nearly 118,000 Hoosiers receive emergency food assistance each week from a food pantry, soup kitchen, or other agency. With deer season right around the corner, hunters can actually help the hungry. And here to talk about how is Phil Bloom from the Indiana Department of Natural Resources. Good morning.
Good morning, Drew. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. How can hunters use their love for the sport to help others?
Well, we have a program that we assist. It's called the Farmers and Hunters Feeding the Hungry. It's one of several programs like that, not only in Indiana but around the country, where they collect venison from meat processors donated by hunters and then distribute it to food banks.
Is this something that's been popular for many years? How successful is it?
The Farmers and Hunters program has been around for a few years. Department of Natural Resources has been closely involved with this particular group for about 3 years. It is increasing. Last year, for instance, we had 1,100 deer that got donated, which equates to several 100,000 meals. If you figure average weight of a deer and then a quarter pound per meal serving, that adds up to quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Now, can any hunter get involved with this? Do they need to sign up ahead of time?
There's no signing up. It's just a matter of donating the deer, extra deer. If you have the good fortune to get an extra deer, to donate it through one of the processors. Farmers and Hunters Feeding the Hungry, FHFH.org has a list on its website of participating meat processors that they can take the deer to and then have it processed into ground venison, which then goes to the food banks.
How is this season looking? Do you know if this is going to be a big deer season?
It's anticipated. Our deer management biologist, Chad Stewart, expects another at or near record year. Last year, 132,000 plus deer were harvested by hunters in Indiana. That was a record by 3,000 more than the previous record. So he's anticipating, by all the calculations that he does, that this could be a similar, if not better, year.
Wow. Okay. Well, of course, if people are going to hunt, you ask them to be safe. What are your tips for that?
Yes, obviously, there are studies, indications that hunting is an extremely safe activity. Some studies indicate that you probably stand a better chance of getting hurt climbing in and out of your bathtub. We do have accidents, though. There are, on average, about 30 to 40 hunting accidents in Indiana each year, but the vast majority of those are from people falling out of tree stands. Tree stand is a popular way to hunt deer, and one of the things that we highly recommend is one of these things. It is a full-body vest. You put this on, it buckles in front, it's a full vest, and then this attaches to a strap that you've tied around the top of the tree. Sure. And if you should be unfortunate enough to fall, this will catch you and prevent, it may not prevent all injuries, but it will certainly can be a lifesaver. Sure. We do have some fatalities, unfortunately, every year where someone falls out of a tree stand. And that's a pretty good thud when you, and that's one of our slogans, don't be a thud. So that is important. Hunter safety education has been a program that we've been involved in for a number of years. Anybody who is born after December 31st, 1986 is required to go through that class. It's a fairly simple class. You can even do it online. And a lot of records point that the use of that program, Hunter Safety Education, and the introduction of the Hunter Orange requirement as clothing that needs to be worn during the firearms season have been the decline in hunting accidents has paralleled the use of those two things, Hunter Education and Hunter Orange.
Okay, Phil, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all of the safety tips and the ways to help the hungry with hunting this season. Appreciate your time this morning.
Nice to be here. Thank you very much.
Up next.